In our tight-knit community, in the housing projects, there lurked a sinister presence, a murderer. This individual had a chilling preference for targeting women whose names began with the letter D. The fear that gripped the projects was palpable. People were afraid to step outside. The matriarchs hesitated to let their children play freely, and even the secular matriarchs avoided gathering in the court during the evenings. Suspicion hung heavy in the air, casting a shadow over our once harmonious community. The matriarchs' boyfriends. The matriarchs of their families had boyfriends, and due to societal prejudices, these men could not secure stable jobs, so some of them lived with the women. This made it difficult for them to provide for themselves, let alone commit to marriage. As a result, nobody knew much about these boyfriends or their backgrounds, leaving us all on edge. Paranoia consumed us as we questioned the intentions and potential guilt of those closest to us. Do-it-yourself home security alarm system. To protect ourselves, my mother devised a makeshift alarm system. She strategically placed sticks and glass bottles in our windows, hoping to deter the murderer from entering our home while we slept. It was a desperate attempt to find some semblance of security while our community was plagued by fear. Today, to enhance the security of my cooperative apartment, I have a reliable ADT home security alarm system and a Ring doorbell, and I, too, crafted makeshift alarm systems using long wooden sticks, carefully measured by Frager's Ace hardware store on Capitol Hill, to fit each window throughout my home. Miss Yolanda. One day, our neighbor, Ms. Yolanda's boyfriend, Mr. John, knocked on our back door. My mother, wary of his presence, refused to step outside, so she conversed with him through the window instead. Despite his polite demeanor towards us children, there was an undeniable unease surrounding Mr. John. Something about him just fell off. The following day, Ms. Yolanda knocked on our front door, seeking answers about Mr. John's visit. She had seen him at our back door and wanted to know what he had wanted from my mother. The conversation between Ms. Yolanda and my mother quickly escalated into a heated exchange of words. Ms. Yolanda accused my mother of being the object of Mr. John's desires, while my mother clarified that he had merely asked for money to cover his bus fare to work. She urged Ms. Yolanda to prevent her boyfriend from approaching her for financial assistance again. The murderer unveiled. The sudden arrival of multiple police cars and sirens blaring sent shockwaves through our community. The police descended upon the small brick house just 2 doors down from ours, commanding attention from every window in my courtyard. The officers knocked on Miss Yolanda's door, and to our astonishment, she was swiftly handcuffed and placed into a police car. The person responsible for the murders were none other than Ms. Yolanda. It was revealed that she was the murderer responsible for the deaths of 3 women whose names all began with the letter D: Denise, Debbie, and Dorothy. The murderer's trial. As the trial unfolded, the prosecution disclosed a disturbing fact about Mr. John. He had been dating other women while living with Miss Yolanda. He has a twisted preference for women with names starting with D, due to an incestuous relationship with his late aunt, Delia. This revelation sheds light on the eerie nature of Mr. John's character. Motive for the murders. The motive behind Miss Yolanda's heinous acts was rooted in jealousy. Discovering Mr. John's infidelity drove her to a murderous rage, leading her to eliminate all of his girlfriends. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. It was a chilling reminder of the destructive power of jealousy, a theme that dates back to the biblical story of Cain and Abel. My mother's name. Like an unwelcome guest, the unsettling notion crept into my mind that my dear mother could have fallen victim to Miss Yolanda's deranged acts of violence. It was a weird coincidence that my mother's first name, Diane, shared the same alphabet with Miss Yolanda's unfortunate victims. The mere fact that Mr. John had approached my mother, seeking financial assistance, might have triggered a sinister thought in Miss Yolanda's disturbed psyche. Perhaps she believed her boyfriend was involved with my mother, leading her down a dark path of jealousy and the potential for a horrifying fate. Conclusion. The murderer had been unmasked, but the scars left behind by her actions would forever haunt my memories. Thanks for listening to Mia Z. Edwards' Diaries. Diaries: Mischief Never Sleeps. See you tomorrow.